Hello, good evening, everyone who all are joining in and who may join later in the session. This is your host, Himanshi Kaushik, and I warmly and sincerely welcome you all in today's session on unveiling global research opportunities in computer science engineering. And before we move on and learn a lot more about the opportunities when we can have, in computer science domain, we are joined by our experts here. And before I introduce our experts to you all, I hope that you all are doing fine, great, happy, healthy, and sound, and wherever you're taking this session from. Okay, just a minute. I'll just okay. So we are joined, I'm very sorry for the interruption. We're joined by, please welcome Mikhail Karakin. He is the director of Vorovich Institute of Mathematics, Mechanics, and Computer Science. He has done his PhD and is now a professor here. Sir, Mikhail, sir, I welcome you in the session here.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. And hello, dear students, dear teachers and professors of lovely professional university.
So pleasure is all ours. We're also joined by Mr. Wesley. He is the head of automation technologies in business department of Vorovich Institute of Mathematics, Mechanics, and Computer Science. He has also done his PhD and is now an associate professor. So Wesley, sir, I sincerely welcome you in the session here.
Hi, glad to see you.
And not last but not the least, we are also joined by Mr. Oleg. He is the head of some education programs of Vorovich Institute, of course, of Mathematics, Mechanics, and Computer Science. And he also has done his PhD and also he's now an associate professor. So, sir, I welcome you in the session, experts. And we are also joined by Dr. Rachit Garg. He is COS from Lovely Professional University, and Ms. Gauri Mathur. She has also joined us, and together we're going to have a little, or maybe a not so little discussion on the opportunities in computer science and engineering. Now, I would want to request Gauri ma'am to take over the session and start the session.
Okay. And teachers.
Ma'am, you're not audible. I think there's issue. No issues. Rachit sir, could you please take over the screen?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. And it's a great pleasure that we have our partners from Russia, Dr. Mikhail, Dr. Oleg, Dr. Wesley. I welcome them all. It is a proud moment that we are launching for the first time MTech research program. And this is one of the unique program where a student is going to study first year with the lovely professional university, that is School of Computer Science and Engineering. Then he's going to take up the opportunities further at the Russia Southern Federal University. Now, why this is a unique program, because MTech, many of us have done, many of us have been teaching for a while. But there are some opportunities with both the universities which would come as in the form of projects where students would be doing so many wonderful things to in the research, and they would be learning those things to take forward either in MTech or either further in the PhD program. So I would invite Dr. Oleg to start his presentation and give the insights of how MTech student can actually change his life and change by joining this program to certainly a definite kind of a program where learning could be of great interest. Dr. Oleg, please.
Thank you. Just 1 second.
Yeah, please.
I will share with you my presentation. Вот это? Да, вот это. Нет, вот это. Вот это. Can you see the PPT?
Yeah, please.
So allow me to introduce our Institute of Mathematics, Mechanics, and Computer System, which named after Vorovich. And we will present a new mutual program, Masters in Research Masters of Research in Computer Science. So the first question is why research input is important in master's research. It's a great and interesting question because if you want to live good, and you need a good education. Good education without some researcher skills, it's not enough for taking good money. So the researcher taken their research skill during their learning, during their studying in master's program, for example, our master's program, and after, the researcher can be a manager of some computer company, and their researcher skill is really important to take new technology, to install new technology in this company. Also, if we are talking about master's program, so the master program is a first step to become a science. Each scientist should have a good researcher skills. Also, the researcher skills need to engineer and also need to their own startup, but I can talk more and more, but if you have some questions, I can answer you later, because we need to save our time. So the next question is, what's the need of joining hands with foreign university? It's really interesting and good question, and I can briefly answer to it in the following way. If you learning in your country, you can you really familiar with your culture, and if you start learning in some foreign some other country, you can start studying not only soft skill, professional hard skills, but also you can start learning some cultural skills. In this way, you can take some experience in business in foreign in other country, and you can apply this business in your country, or maybe you can apply some business skills which distributed in your country and apply it here, and that's your good advantages to work hard and to take more money. And the next question is, how students would be benefited by taking admissions to this program. So each business should take some profits. The education is not excluded of this. We are living in a century where IT sector are growing very fast, and the knowledge in masters in research really need to get a good place, under the sun in the real world. So if you study here, you can very good work in some companies. You can start your own business, or you can start to give some consulting, and also you can if you will study here, you can take some very specific knowledge for Western culture, and you can live here, or you can continue your education in other Western countries without some cultural issues. And the next question.
Let me add some comments if you don't mind. I think one important benefit of participating in this program is that you can continue your education later on the next level, on the next step. I mean, PhD program. There are many PhD programs in our university, and there are many opportunities for PhD students to take some support from our government, from India government, from some foundations, and for many students who study a PhD program at our university, they study for free or with some scholarship. So being a student of such program, I mean research-oriented program, it's a good way to continue your education at the PhD level.
So thank you. And the next question is why research and project work exposure is important. Yes, it's really important because if you, when you study, you can see that research work and project work is not important, just like a study. But if you're going to real life, if you're going to work for some company, you really can recognize that research work and project work is really important. Why? For example, if you want to start your own business, and you should know that every scientist do something, and after that something becomes to a business. If it's not becomes to a business, not given some profits, it's not real need things to do. So if you want to carry out your research work, you need to have some research skills. And if you want to make your own business, you have to possess the research skills. Why? If you looking for some ideas for your business, you need to research skills. If you want to,
Oleg, if you mind.
okay.
I'm the head of department which deal with big Russian IT business, such as fintech, IT themselves, technical corporations, and so on. Sberbank, if you know, 1S, Russian platform of business automatization, and so on. And in every big IT company is research subdivision, where you can work after our master's program or after our PhD program. So you can make a career in IT in Russia.
Yes, I can add that I'm familiar with these companies, and some of good students. I applied to some IT companies. For example, as my boss said, Sberbank, it's the greatest bank in Russia. Some lower banks like Central Invest, and some web studios, and so on. And the second, or the next.
I think it's very important, some maybe more or less formal facts, but I think very important for students. So we have an agreement between two universities, I mean lovely professional university, Southern Federal University, that students can apply for 1 year study in the LPU, and then the result they achieved during their first year can be taken into account when they go and transfer to the Southern Federal University, spend 1 year in Southern Federal University, second year of a master program, and then get a diploma of Southern Federal University of Master in Science, Master Diploma in Southern Federal University. This diploma will give you opportunity to work in any country, because our diplomas still are very valuable in the whole world, and you can continue your education as a postgraduate student. It's also possible, and there, as I said before, special program of financial support of PhD students in our university and in our country.
And of course, if you want to study here, you can cut some cost of your education. For example, there are many programs which applies to foreigner students, international students, and they can study for free. But it's will be good for postgraduate students. And if you live in here and study here, you can work here. It's also allowed. And also, if you want to get some knowledge about where do you want to go after master's courses, you can go to PhD courses. And if you work if you study as a PhD student, you can work in IT. You can work as a scientist here in the Southern Federal University, and you can give more salary. Also, you can work as a student in some kind of cafe or something else. Also, after master's courses, you can go in PhD students, or you can stay here in Russia. You can work. You can work in company. You can establish your own business, or you can go in next country, or you can go to your country also.
And I should mention, if you have diploma of Russian university, you can have your business in Russia, you can work in Russia, you can do what you want in Russia. I mean, you have some possibilities that other foreigners don't have.
Oh, yes, sure. And during this moment, there are holidays, and all teachers on vacation, and all students also on their holidays. But I want to mention that one Indian students are studying in at this institute, but he's away. Okay,
But he's undergraduate student. His first year, he just graduated his first year in our institute. He studied at the computer science program in our institute.
And also he's working in some place, I don't know.
Yes,
where.
he can earn some money for his tuition fee. He can work in Russia. Students who are studying here can have ability to work and to earn money from Russian companies.
So I want to add that your professors, one of yours pro-chancellor, Dr. Gupta, and Dr. Pratesh, the head of your school, I forgot.
Research division.
What?
Research division.
Mm-hmm. They were here, and you can ask some questions about how live here to your colleagues. And I want to some specific information about the institute I want to add. At first, Russia is situated on the north of India, and it's one of the it's the biggest country in the world. You can see some information. I will say.
You mean area?
Yes,
population,
area.
The population of India is much more.
In I think in 10 times much less. So it's not crowded like in India, and the distance between Phagwara and Rostov-on-Don is about 3,500 kilometers. And Russia, Rostov region, where we are is in the south of Russia. There is a signal list, and we are in Rostov-on-Don. So the Rostov-on-Don is 2 times bigger than Punjab, but
Again, with area.
again, yes, is dedicated to area, but it's not so crowded because the density of population in Rostov 42 people to square kilometers, and in Punjab 500 and half hundreds peoples of per square kilometers. So the temperature is not so hot like in Punjab in May. It's I think at summer the temperature is like in November in Punjab. So you can see some sides of Rostov-on-Don, and let's go further. Our university was established in 1869, and during World War the first, it's moved to Rostov-on-Don and become to Rostov State University. And after it was reorganized in 2006 to the Southern Federal University. And you can see the HQ of our university, and we are going to the Institute of Mechanics, Mathematics, and Computer Science. It looks like on these photographs. And also, I want to show you.
So, good morning, good afternoon, Subravkhat. This is the dormitory of Southern Federal University, and you can see many flags here. These flags are dedicated to countries which students are here studying.
As you can see, the flag of India, flag of India. So,
Oh, okay. I have to add that we consider our university as student-centered university because there are many facilities that help our students to be here, to organize their free time, because of course, we have some foundation course for international students, and we have a lot of good places where we can spend their time. We can help to have good health, because sport facilities and even place where students can to eat. And I'm not sure that we have Indian food in Rostov. We have several Indian cafeteria and restaurants, but not so maybe a bit far from our dormitories. But maybe if we have enough Indian students, we can organize something near there, because our Chinese students already organized or maybe invite some person who organized Chinese cafeteria not far from our dormitory. Maybe Indian food will also come to our city due to bigger number of Indian students.
Good idea for business.
This is our campus, university campus, with our students and master students and PhD students live. You see some sport facilities and rather nice, I think, abilities for living. Again, this is our campus from another side. Again, we have a swimming swimming pool, excuse me, swimming pool, 50 meters. So this is sport style. A lot of sport competition are take place here, and of course our students have their physical training classes in this area and this swimming pool. And this is again inside dormitory, and the cost for, as far as I understand, is not so expensive. This amount of money, free $30 per month is rather cheap cost for the dormitory of that class. Okay, that's all for our presentation. And we are, as I said before, we are glad to be here. We are glad to have the chance to speak with students. And if you have any questions, we can skip to the transfer to traditional Zoom screen, and we can maybe read chat and answer some questions you already have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oleg, Dr. Mikhail, and Dr. Wesley for sharing your valuable insights about the program and the university. It was indeed very useful for the students. Let me just summarize your program and our LPU collaboration with all of the students. So you all have been registered for Masters in Technology and Computer Science Engineering. So this is one of the programs in which you can get transferred. And this is MTech Computer Science Engineering 1+1, which is 1 year, all the students will be studying in LPU, and 1 year you will be going in Russia for studying and for doing your research projects. Plus, as they have already shared with you that you can work there also, and you can work in IT companies also, you can work in the university itself, plus you can do your projects and your research work simultaneously. So if any student is having any query related to the fee structure or the eligibility, the minimum eligibility is 6.5 CGPA. If you're going to have 6.5 CGPA without any reappears and backlogs, you will be eligible to go to the university. So if any student is having any queries, you can just ask. You can write it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask.
So I will ask on the behalf of students to Dr. Mikhail one question. So Dr. Mikhail, actually students would be keenly interested to know, because they have done masters or MTech in with normal course program. What do you mean a course program is they have been studying some courses in every semester and they pass it out and they get a degree. But this is one of the unique program where they would involve directly, and because there is a buddy mentor program in the initial year also, first year that is, Russian faculty and staff members would be involved directly with the students and they would be interacting with those students. They would be keen to know how they will be getting insights into research and what do they mean by research actually.
We plan that this program will be maybe a bit unusual even for Russian educational system, because traditional style of teaching, even in master level, we have some subjects, some classes, some traditional exams, practical tests, and so on. And we want to change a bit such style of education. We plan to concentrate or transfer the second year of education into real research activity, into project teams, because we have several professors who already propose some topic of their interest, and we want to invite students into their research groups. And these students will really do research. Not, of course, they have to participate in some traditional education classes. I mean, for example, we will invite students to study Russian for 1 semester, just to, how to say, to feel yourself better in the Russian language environment. Of course, we can communicate in English, and many people in Russia can communicate in English, but anyhow, to have some impression of Russian language is important. So such courses as Russian language, or we want to make you familiar with a style of doing business in Russia as a special course. I think it's also interesting and important, but more part of the students' activities on the second year will be just research activities under the head of our professor. And I hope that during first year, when you will be in India, we already make you familiar with our professors. So our professors make some seminars, some sessions, some conference, maybe short presentations of their activities, to invite you to join their groups. So during the first year, you will already, I think you will choose a professor, you will choose the topic of your research, direction of your research, so you will be well prepared to continue research activities when you come to Rostov, to our university.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So in continuation to that, if like students maybe
So, yeah, students, do you have any queries? You can unmute yourself and ask.
А почему бакалаврам платят больше, чем мастерам?
Okay, I don't think so. They have a provision of unmuting themselves. Himanshi ma'am, I have this provision of writing something on the text chat box.
Yes, ma'am. They can write in the chat box, or rather, they can just raise their hand so that we can allow them to talk. So, if any attendee has any query, kindly raise your hand so that I or ma'am can give you the permission to have a direct chat session with our experts here. We're having one query in the Q&A box, so it's very general query. I just want to
It's a generic query. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be valid for this session. So we can answer his query later on.
Okay.
Any other query related to this session, we can wait for 2 minutes so that you can write it in the chat. Manu sir, are you there in the session?
Yes,
Manu
ma'am,
sir?
I'm there.
Okay, Manu
yeah.
sir, you would like
We
to share
have
something
one-
about 1+1 credit transfer program?
Sure, ma'am. So generally what we do is that students study here at 1 year and they get transferred to foreign university, and in the next year and they get a degree from foreign university. So I think so this is the new program introduced with South Federal University under 1+1 category, and they would be getting transferred to the South Federal University in Russia. And after that, whatever the rules apply to the international students, they apply to that. They get a post-study work rights also over there. So it's a win-win situation. Students do tend to save a lot of money under this program. They save a lot of money by studying 1 year at India, and they also save their living cost also. So it's a good program for the students. Anybody who's interested can join this program and get a degree from South Federal University, and down the line do their research program also over there.
So what chat questions were there? Why industry pay more to BTech freshers rather than MTech fresher? So I would like to answer here because we have been experiences more of the BTech's pass outs as compared to MTech pass outs, and research has been a part of the component of the university, but there is a lot of opportunity in research also where we can go beyond what industry is paying us. I think there are many opportunities which are going to come in, and students should not think that only industry can pay more. Research also can pay a huge amount of money in future in their career when they are going to pass out with a good MTech and with a good PhD. And there is a second question also in the chat box. Is the MTech, that is the normal MTech, that is a course-based MTech, different from anything else, or is there like there are some fee extra? I would ask the reply to them that this is the normal program, that is the fee structure relates to the normal program and you don't have to pay anything extra. And but the learning is, I think, 100% extra. You are going to learn very much more. I encourage students to ask questions because this opportunity don't come like normally. It is a great opportunity where you can ask questions from Dr. Mikhail and his team, because they are here with us, and they can chat and talk to you and answer your queries. Please. Himanshi?
Yeah, sir, actually, I think we're done with the queries. There are no more queries from attendees here. Gauri ma'am, would you like to take up for the rest of
Yes,
the
I have already shared my email ID with all the students, I guess, and you can note down. In case if you have any queries, you can talk to your parents also, and you can consult on this email ID and we'll revert you. Okay, and that's all, I think. There are no queries from your side. Again, I'm asking if any student is having any query, then they can ask. Otherwise, we'll share information also through mail about this program. And yes, sir.
No, we just read the last question about artificial intelligence. I think we can say a lot of, even we can make a lecture, maybe 2 hours lecture about this problem, but not today, okay? Because I'm not sure that it'll help you to become a student of Southern Federal University, this knowledge. Or maybe, who knows?
But I think that artificial intelligence just can help some humans and at all. It cannot replace.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah, that is the key question going on in the minds of the people nowadays.
Okay, if no question today, we can, if you make your questions to your teachers and professors and they resend these questions to us, we will be glad to answer them, of course, and we will be waiting you as a student of first year program in India in LPU, and then, of course, we will be glad to welcome you as a students of Southern Federal University. Yes, I think really this is a first, a bit unusual, but in my point of view, very interesting and promising program. We did not do it before, yes, but I think that both staff of LPU and staff of Southern Federal University are ready to this new challenge, and we will do best in this field. Yes, and we will have success, I'm sure.
So thank you so much. And thank you, students, for participating in the session. Thank you, teachers, faculty members. Thank you, Dr. Oleg, Dr. Mikhail, and Dr. Wesley, for sharing your presentation today with our students. Thank you so much. And now I'll end the session. Thank you and have a good day.
Have a good
Have a
day.
good day.
Bye-bye.
आपका स्वागत है.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
На всех языках.